The Talent Challenge is a presentational workshop that focuses on the critical issue of how to get the most out of your talented staff. Not just attracting and retaining them, but engaging them as well and getting their passionate commitment to your company's success. At Tomorrow Today, we have a real fear that companies may have survived the economic downturn, but that they will be hit by a talent exodus as the upturn begins. Your most talented people might have been a little less mobile over the last few years, but as the headhunters begin to call again, we fear that they will move unless you become a talent-focused organization. The Talent Challenge then is a presentational workshop that takes the latest research and up-to-date case studies on what the most successful companies are doing when it comes to engaging their talent and becoming truly talent-focused. We suggest in the presentation that there are 6 criteria that you can look at. Use them as an audit of your own talent focus in your organization and use them as a framework for having the right conversations about what to do to get the most out of your talented staff. The first thing that you need to do is understand the expectations of talented people. We often tend to think of this as the expectations of a younger generation. But we'd like to suggest that the older generation of wise and talented baby boomers are also important to consider. They're not going to retire, at least not in the traditional sense, and you can get a lot more out of them than you thought you might have been able to. So young or old, it doesn't matter. There are different expectations that talented people have of the world of work today. And it's critical that you and all of your leaders throughout your organization understand these expectation shifts. Then you need to provide proper support for your talent. This means you have to understand what returns you want from your talent. You put a lot of energy, effort and resources into your people. Do you know precisely what it is they need to achieve for you? And how do you measure return on talent? And what support do you give your talented people in order to achieve that return for you? Item number 3 is around customizing the contract. This is something that is absolutely essential if you're wanting to really motivate talented people. We also look at some of the latest research on motivation and looking at some surprising research that indicates that paying for performance when people are doing creative work, or in fact any work except manual labor, pay for performance incentives in fact do not work. They in some instances decrease the performance people might have given you. This might not be what your thinking is, but it's certainly what the research is showing, and we can unpack that information for you around customizing the talent contract for your various levels of staff. We provide a great framework for getting the balance between complete customization, which would be chaotic, and no flexibility and customization at all. We think we've got a way that will help you to find a great middle ground that's good for the company and good for your people as well. Fourthly, you need to create connections. You need to allow information to flow, and you need to use especially social media and Web 2.0 technologies to allow your talented people to connect internally and externally as well, and of course most importantly with your customers. Then we need to provide for wisdom transfer. We don't like the phrase training or mentoring because it has a whole lot of baggage with it. For us, it's about teaching talented people the stuff you can't learn in textbooks, the things you won't be able to find in a Google search, that gut feel that your senior people have that separates you and your company from your competitors. You need to transfer that wisdom and develop frameworks for wisdom transfer. And then finally, you need to have an end-to-end talent pipeline. You need to not just be dealing with talented people in your organization and working them through your own pipeline, but you need to connect with them before they even think of working for you. You need to be tracking people and in fact hiring talented people when you find them. If you simply hire people when you've got a job vacancy and a position to fill, you will be limited in the choice of people that you can select from, the best available at the time. You need to develop systems to be tracking talented people all of the time. Then maybe even more importantly, you need to track people after they've left you. Not take the attitude we normally take of traitor when somebody leaves and push them out the office. But you need to be mentoring people who have left your organization, creating an alumni of ex-staff members who possibly you can lure back at some future time. 6 items, 6 things that you can use to both audit your organization and begin the process of dealing with the talent challenge, attracting, retaining, and engaging talented people, not just during the recession, but more importantly, as we begin the economic upturn. This is your company's most important challenge in the next 3 to 5 years, and we can help you to deal with it and be successful in your talent challenge.